I was getting myself ready to take a trip to go visit my darling daughter and her family in Texas. And my boy said, Mama, you ought to have a CB put in your car to keep you company while you're traveling down that road. And I said, what's a CB? Well, he told me what it was and where to get it, and I went down to where I saw this sign that said, CB's for sale. I went in and I said, fellers, put me one of them CB boxes in my car. They didn't take long in doing it, and he come back and he says, you know, you ought to have a handle. And I said, well, go on and put that doggone thing on. I'd pay for it. Well, they told me when I got started to get on this Channel 19, and when I got on that road, mercy sakes, all them cars was going in the same direction on one side of that road, a little patch of meadow in between, and all them cars and going in the opposite direction on the other side of that road. Well, I didn't get started no more till I switched on that CB box, and someone come right back and he said, break Channel 19. And I thought to myself, break nothing. I just bought this thing. Then someone come back and said, go, breaker. And that was my thoughts exactly. Anybody that'd go around breaking things in my book could just go. Well, all at once this boy said there was a bear in the air and a bear on the road. Well, I didn't know where to look first, in the sky or on the ground. Then another boy come right back and he said he saw a bear flip-flopping and taking pictures. Well, I thought right off to myself, that has to be a trained animal that has got loose from somewhere. Then this old boy said he saw a bear passing out green stamps, and I thought, my goodness, what grocery stores won't do these days to get business. But if I'd have known where that old bear was, I'd have got a couple of them stamps, because that's all I needed to fill my book. Well, I noticed these fellers are saying, mercy sakes, real often. And now I thought they was a-talking my language, because I can remember when mercy sakes was the strongest Papa would allow us kids to say while we still at home. Well, I thought this bear thing had quieted down when all at once this boy sounded all excited and he said he had a bear report. And them bears was wall to wall and they was a-beating the bushes. I could tell right off them fellers was a-having themselves the time of their life. Then one of them come back and he said he had just passed the zoo and they was a-feeding the bears. Well, I felt right down relieved they'd caught 'em all, and above all things a-feeding 'em. I never could stand the thoughts of an animal being hungry. Then another fella come back on, he said he saw a lot of cotton pickers on the side. Right off, I knowed he had to be from the south, but how he could tell 'em this far north was beyond me. All at once, this boy said he saw a Tijuana taxi that had just passed him. And I thought, mercy sakes, you mean somebody's come clear from Mexico over here somewhere? Then I felt kind of sorry for this boy who said he left his ratchet jaw at home. I knew for sure if he'd had a flat tire, he's going to be in real trouble. Taking this trip and not bringing his tools along. A short time passed, and this feller asked, are you an 18-wheeler, a 4-wheeler, a 2-wheeler, or a pregnant roller skate? And I thought, whoo, what kind of language is this? Anything in the world is allowed on these roads today. Then he said, whatever you are, I'm a-stopping at the next checking coop. Well, I knew this boy had to be from the country and my kind of people, but I just kept on going right on down that road. Then this boy said he was going to shake the trees and rake the leaves. Well, I figured he had a good pecan tree spotted, and he was going to get him some of them and sell them to help him pay for this trip he was a-making. Well, then, just in a minute, this boy said, I'm at your front door. Are you at my back door? And somebody answered right back and said, negatory. I'm in the rocking chair. Now, I always felt I missed something by not learning a foreign language, so I really never did find out who it was at the front door, who was at the back door, and who it was had the gall to sit there in that rocking chair. A number of times I would hear someone say, 10-4, 10-4. I finally looked at my watch and I knew right off he had the wrong time. So I picked up that little speaker and I punched that little old button and I said, it's 10:33. Just in a flash, I want you to know there was 13 cars and 4 trucks around me. I pulled over and stopped, and them boys come a-running and asked if I was all right or if I needed any help. I looked right at them and I said, well, thank you kindly, boys. And I told them that there wasn't nothing wrong with me and that I didn't need one thing. Well, after that mess got all cleared out, I got started down that road again, and this feller said he had just passed a roller skate going down that road with seat covers. Now, I really wasn't surprised. This feller couldn't even tell what time it was to begin with. And then I kept hearing somebody asking if anybody had a copy. I didn't understand, and I wondered, a copy of what in the world it was he wanted. I knew I didn't have one. But you know, I sure enjoyed the friendliness of everyone as I listened to them a-talking, and it seemed that everybody was everybody's good buddy. And I sure did appreciate this feller telling me the road was clean. But when he come back and he said he was going to put the hammer down and he was going to blow off my doors, I began to wonder about that old boy. And when he said, what's your 10-20? I knew for sure he was still messed up on the right time. So just to confuse him all the more, I decided I'd throw in a little of the alphabet along with the wrong time. And I said to him, good buddy, XYL to you and a big 10-100. And I turned that CB box plumb off for a while.